A part of being a game developer is actually doing the work. Just do the work. Stop watching videos about doing the work. Watch this one because, I'm trying to help you out. But don't get fixated on like watching mad videos and wasting time. So boom, you want to make a video game in 2025, your own indie game, but you don't know where to get started. In this video, I will be giving you all the tips and tricks of how to get started all the way to releasing your own indie game on Steam.
I'm a gamer. I'm a straight up G. The occasional life is the life for me.
I'm using all the experience that I have obtained from releasing my own indie game last year, December, called Ducky Runners. Check it out if you haven't already. First things first, you have to pick a game engine. And this is where most aspiring game developers waste their time because they spend weeks, months, years watching videos on which is the best game engine, not realizing each and every game engine has their own workflow that you yourself can only determine what works for you. I used Unreal Engine for a month. It's a cool engine, but I realized that, hey, I don't like the workflow, and then I dropped it. I checked out Unity for a few days, got used to that workflow, and I landed on using the Godot engine. I highly recommend not to go on these game engine deep dives of which is better, GameMaker, Godot, Unity, Unreal Engine, Construct. It is a waste of time, and you are wasting precious hours of where you could have just invested that time into making your game. Don't do that. Download the ones that pique your interest, dabble around with them, and see what workflow works best for you. Congratulations, you have now picked your game engine. Step 2, learning that game engine. I recommend watching a YouTube playlist on a basic kind of, game concept, whether it's Flappy Bird or a platformer, learning the user interface, the project settings, the editor settings, and just having a great understanding of the ins and out of that engine, as well as the programming language that the engine uses, whether it's GDScript, C#, C++, Blueprints, whatever it may be. What I did was watch an entire platformer series of how to make a simple 2D platformer in the Godot engine by Heartbeast. I learned so much from following this tutorial series, and I was able to produce my first prototype for Ducky Runners. It's your first game. I wouldn't take it too seriously. I would not recommend making your dream game that's going to take 10+ years to develop. Slow it down. It's your first game. Step 3, picking a game genre. And this, depending on what kind of angle you are going with your game development journey, if you just want to make something just to make something, if you want to really get into the algorithm and be profitable on Steam, choosing the correct genre is important. The absolute best genre to make your first indie game is a roguelike game. When it comes to programming, doesn't have to be too crazy. Art doesn't have to be too crazy. You could take any concept and turn it into a roguelike. We got Balatro that took over the world, which is a poker roguelike game. We got Brotato, which is made in Godot, took over the roguelike game. Chess Survivors, made by Aramis, shout out to Aramis. And y'all know Vampire Survivor. Even if you haven't played it, you've heard of it. It's a roguelike game that took over the internet and started the trend of insert name here, Survivor games. My next game might be a roguelike. Yo, making a horror game is a great option as your first game. These are games that are easy to go viral. These are games that are easy to make. And these are games that people love to play year round. The two biggest genres for game development and the least popular game genre for gamers are puzzle games and platformers. These are the two best genres to get your foot in the door, learning the basics of game development and game design. This genre is just extremely oversaturated. Your game might have the potential to just be lost in the abyss. I would avoid making an RPG game as your first game because it's just gonna be insanely difficult and time consuming. If you're gonna make a first-person shooting game, they have to be unique. And a first-person shooting game, you're gonna have to be dealing with multiplayer for the first time. That is not going to be easy. Strategy games do really well when it comes to the Steam algorithm, but you would just have to have the knowledge and the resources to make a hit. If this is your first swing at game development, might not be the best option. Survival games are cool. A lot of survival games are 3D, and you just have to pour a lot of time into them for them to just simply not be basic. Making an expansive world and having mad 3D assets and an objective for the player to accomplish is a lot to consider for a survival game. I think it is possible, especially if you're gonna make this online. I would not recommend you make a survival game for your first game. Just as an example, let's look at Valheim. Valheim is one of the most popular survival games out on the market. Valheim was not their first game, not their second, not their third, and their fourth game was Goat Simulator, which went extremely viral and basically started a whole movement in the indie game scene for simulator games. Fifth game, sixth game, seventh, eighth, ninth. Valheim is their ninth game. Success doesn't happen overnight. Valheim dropped February 2nd, 2021. Their first game was published in 2011. Speaking of simulator games, these are the best games to make for single player games, multiplayer games, games to go viral. Simulator games and management games are just what people like to play for some reason. But I have to say, you would have to be an expert on the topic that you picked for a simulator game. If you're doing a truck simulator, you better know everything about trucks for that to be an accurate simulation. Metroidvania type games are also a great genre to get into as your first game. Keep it $150, you don't have to know a lot of programming. The only thing with Metroidvania games is they have to be good. The game design has to be perfect. Can't be basic. They're easy to make, but cannot be basic. Making an online party game isn't as difficult if you're just having like a straight invite only, not like a battle royale game with 100, players in one room. You can get by making a viral online multiplayer game. Another oversaturated genre that you could make as your first indie game are visual novel games. Visual novel games are, I'd say, relatively easy to make. There are some game engines that are literally visual novel engines. The only thing is, oh my goodness, this is at the top of the charts for games that are published on Steam. Not to say that you aren't capable of striking gold with a visual novel, but it will be very difficult because there are just so many games that are uploaded every day to Steam. ISO boom, you pick the game engine, you learn the ins and out of that engine and follow the tutorial, and now you have picked your indie game genre. Step 4 is choosing applications to make the art, make the audio. If you are making a 3D game, it is a no-brainer to use Blender. Blender is a free 3D software. There's modeling, there's animations, ton of resources that are free online. I recommend using Blender. For 2D art, you can go the Adobe Creative Cloud route. I personally use Adobe for making my game assets as well as just work, video editing, everything. You got Photoshop, so you can do your pixel art, Adobe Illustrator to do your vector art, edit your gameplay trailers. There's Adobe Premiere Pro, the entire Adobe suite. It's just great. But it is in a monthly subscription. If you're a teacher, get the teacher's discount. It's $20 a month. But if you want to make pixel art, I would highly recommend Aseprite. Aseprite is a very, very well-known pixel and animation application. It is free, but if you want to export and actually get things into your game, it is a one-time payment of $20. Can't get better than that. If you want an Adobe alternative to make vector art, I would highly recommend Affinity Designer 2. It is very similar to Adobe Illustrator, and it is a one-time payment of $70. For all things audio, I personally love to use Zapsplat.com. Make an account and get to downloading. Everything is free. You can look up sound effects, even music, and use these for your indie games. And to further edit these audio tracks that you download, or just anything to do with audio, voice recording, I highly recommend using Audacity. It is a free audio software that I personally use, and there is a lot of value to be had in this free application. This gets the AOG stamp of approval. To edit your videos, if you are not using Adobe Premiere Pro, I would highly recommend DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is a free editor. They do have a paid version that has a little couple more features. DaVinci Resolve is a wonderful alternative for video editing for free. Last but not least, you need to learn version control as well as have a project management application. I wish I knew about version control so much earlier in my game development journey. GitHub has saved me time and time again. This is an application/website where you can store your code and have different backed up versions of your game. Learn GitHub. I specifically learned how to use GitHub following GWiz's tutorial for Godot. If you're using the Godot engine, that is the best tutorial to integrate GitHub with Godot and start using it as soon as possible. I recommend using Milanote as your project management application. It is free and it is also convenient as they have a mobile version so you can jot down ideas whenever you are on the go. I recommend making a game design document using this application and start planning out your game ideas. We're making great progress. The game is being made. We got the applications. The prototype is coming along, but no one knows that it exists. I would recommend you either make a YouTube channel, make some dev vlogs, whatever social media that you use, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, get the game out there. I would highly recommend you make an itch.io page. Itch.io is a wonderful platform for indie game developers. You can market your game on there. You can join game jams, check out a bunch of other games that people are making. It is a great hub for indie game developers and a great way to get feedback. You can have a downloadable version of your game or just directly have an HTML version of your game where people can play it on a web browser without having to download it. It is a fantastic indie game development site. Once you get the ball rolling, there's an audience for this on itch.io. There's an audience for this on YouTube, TikTok, whatever. I highly recommend you get your Steam page up as soon as possible. The more time that your Steam page is up, the better. You have the opportunity to obtain wishlists, which is the name of the game of getting into the Steam algorithm and to have the greatest chance to get your game out there. Let Steam do the work and get your game out there. It isn't difficult at all to get your Steam page up and running. You just have to pay the developer fee, which is $100 USD. There are a lot of Steam art assets that you would have to make. You can make them yourself if you're an artist. If you are not an artist, I would highly recommend hiring someone to make them for you. And Steam provides all the dimensions in the documentation. It is a lot of work, but it's what you gotta do to make that art. Uploading your game to Steam is not difficult at all. There is a learning curve, but there are a lot of tutorials out there. I recommend watching these three YouTubers, Arodev, Skyride Studios, and Game Dev Secrets. These videos are great. They go through the Steamworks documentation on how to get an SDK, upload multiple versions of your games depending on the different platforms you're going to have them out for. They are just very straight to the point, amazing videos that will get you right on track. To help your game get traction, you can join a Steam Fest. There are so many festivals that are year-round that happen for different game genres, and it just brings mad traction to your game. People get to check out your demo, give you feedback. It would just help you so much. Steam Next Fest is a really big one. One is happening this February 24th to the 3rd. Visual Novel Fest, City Builder Fest, War Game Fest. Like, there are different festivals for different genres that are all year round. Check out the Steam calendar and plan ahead so you can make sure that you can get your game in and be eligible to be a part of these fests and be on the right track to receiving player feedback and make this game the best it can be before release. We're almost done. You picked your game engine, you've been working on your game, you posted it, it's out there on the interwebs. Now you gotta market it. I would not recommend paid marketing because a lot of times it doesn't do anything, like marketing with YouTube ads or Instagram ads. You're just gonna spend mad money and most likely people are just gonna skip them or scroll past them. The best way to market your game is to have a good game. So make a good game. That's not all that it takes, because there are plenty of amazing games that are out there that just don't get the time of day. But a great start is having a great game. Reach out to content creators, streamers, and just give them Steam keys, which can be found on your Steamworks page. You can find YouTubers' emails by going to their main page and their description, hitting the More tab, scroll down. Either they'll have, their business page in their description, or you can scroll down and hit View Email Address, give that a click, type in the little robot identification thing, and there you go. Now you can email SQC. Another way to get streamers' attention is to join their live streams and donate to them and let them know that you got something that they would want to play.
An occasional game donate thought I said, hey RDC, I'm a black game developer. I recently released a challenging 2D platform called Ducky Runners. I'm sure y'all have a blast. Just because
Ducky
of
Runners.
because I called Ducky
Then Runners.
and Runners. Yeah,
he made that especially for us.
He made that for us?
shit. We might peep that hoe. Send us some codes, bro. Or is that hoe out? Let us know, bro.
They did not reply to my email, and I did something like, I sent them mad keys, but like, that's just how it goes. This is my second time actually emailing RDC about Ducky Runners. Sent them Steam keys and they never got open. That's just the name of the game, y'all, man. You win some, you lose some. Now, look, if you look at the chat, their chat is bumping about Ducky Runners. Hey, Ducky Runners dev, I just wishlisted. I'm gonna get the game soon. This is a fantastic way to market your game. Go directly to the streamers. Go directly to the gamers and get your game out there. After this stream, I did get more wish lists for Ducky Runners. That's pretty much it. This is the An Occasional Gamer indie game roadmap to develop and release your first indie game. You pick an engine, you learn that engine, you don't waste your time watching mad videos. You pick your genre, you get itch.io, you get your Steam page up as soon as possible, market it to streamers and YouTubers, send mad emails, give streamers mad Steam codes. A part of being a game developer is actually doing the work. Just do the work. Stop watching videos about doing the work. Watch this one because, you know, I'm trying to help you out, but don't get fixated on like watching mad videos and wasting time. You just don't end up doing anything. You need to take this roadmap and actually apply it. And I want to see y'all make games for real. Link me up in the Discord. Join the Discord, link in the description. Let me know what game projects you got going on. Let me know what games you intend to release or have already released. I will check them out. I will shout them out myself. I will give you that player feedback. I'm trying to, man, invest into y'all because the internet and across YouTube on itch.io, y'all invested in me, and this is the reason why I have published and released my own indie game by myself. I intend to make more, but I'll talk about that in another video. Thanks for watching the video. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below AOG cheese bread. And if you type that in the comments, I'll know that you watched the entire video. You're a real one. I appreciate y'all. Y'all comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video with your auntie, cousin, friend, coworker, or grandma. And I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Deuces. I'm a swerve in that corner. Whoa. Me dee 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 doo 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 dee 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 da da doo doo. And I heard that she wanna show me who she be. I'm kinda show me some more.
I'm a gamer. I'm a straight up G. The occasional life is the life for me. We can play on Xbox, we can play on PC, but the occasional life is the life for me. I'm a gamer. YouTube entertainer, get the information, make visual explainers.